Okay, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, welcome back to another video. So I've had these consoles for about a week now, both the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, and I think it's time for me to kind of give you guys my thoughts in regards as to how each console has performed over this past week. So I'm going to base this off of three different things that I have had in mind as to how I'm going to put this for each of the consoles. So I'm going to base this off of a criteria, not really a complex criteria, kind of just simple. The three simple things basically being overall the games available on each console, the specs, and finally the UI and design of the console, how it feels. So let's get into the first thing, design and UI. So my personal thoughts, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The PlayStation 5 has the better design and UI. Now, if you've played on an Xbox One X or an Xbox One original, Xbox One S, the UI is basically the same on the Series X. Now, that is completely different on the PlayStation 5. On the PlayStation 5, it's a completely new UI. It basically feels like it's next gen, honestly. Okay, back again. You're all done setting up your Xbox. Time to play. Take me home. Yes. Wow, there it is. The new Xbox Series X. So there it is. Same like last time. Same UI and everything. Everything looks similar. Nothing different from the Xbox One X, except now you have that new power. And it says, welcome to the new generation of Xbox. For me, especially, this is going to be a little bit opinionated. I found that the Series X really kind of let me down with the UI. There were minor changes that Microsoft made, especially in the store. Little changes to the designs. Honestly, I think I preferred Sony's UI. It just feels a little more next-gen, feels a little more pristine. While the Series X, it does feel like there is change, but I feel like there should be more. And honestly, it just feels bland to me. From what I've seen this week, maybe my opinion might change. The UI on the PlayStation 5 is a lot better. I mean, just listening to the music on the home screen is it's honestly incredible. And then now going on to the design. Again, I'm going to give it to the PlayStation 5. The thing is really designed well. I mean, when you light this thing up or you turn it on at night, it's really something else to see it light up and turn on. It looks really badass. Now, it's nothing against the Xbox. I like the design that they went for with the Xbox. You have that little optical illusion at the top with the green circle. That's really cool. I like the whole aesthetic of it, you know, being a box, kind of representing Xbox in its essence. But honestly, Sony really did a good job. No matter how big this thing is, they did a really good job with the design overall. And I just got to give them props on that. And just an extra additive, the controllers, man. I'll say this for Xbox. The Xbox Series X controller fits a lot better in the hand, but this looks and I feel plays better. The DualShock 5. This looks and plays better. This fits better in the hand, but this looks and plays better. Said I'm gonna have to give that first category to the PlayStation 5. PlayStation. Now it's time to move on to the second point, which is going to be specs. Both of these are kind of pretty similar. The only thing that on paper is that the PlayStation 5 is a bit weaker. It just has less flops. Put it simple, it has less flops. Now on paper, technically the Series X is more powerful. And also the PlayStation only comes with 825 gigabytes of SSD. And the Xbox Series X comes with a full terabyte. Now, of course, you have to take into account that once you turn this console on, it has to download a patch, an update, all these things so it can run in the background, etc., etc. So you're only going to be losing about 200 gigabytes per console. So in reality, you're only going to have around 800 gigabytes for the Series X and around 630-ish gigabytes on the PlayStation 5. So the one good thing I'll say about Xbox is that they have allowed expansion storage, SSD storage expansion. I'll just turn it around right here for you guys to see. Right here, you can already just go to the store, buy an SSD card, and just insert it in there. Now, of course, it has to be the Seagate ones, and they are quite pricey. Eventually, they will be going down in price. And then, of course, on the PlayStation, you have to open this thing up and install it internally. Now, Sony has said that they're going to allow storage expansion externally, but nobody knows when. And even then, we're still waiting on compatible SSDs for the PlayStation 5, so that I'm gonna have to give that to Xbox. Now, like I said, they are very similar. And keep in mind, I'm only talking about the Series X and the PlayStation 5. I'm not going to include the digital edition, even though it's the same thing, or the Series S. Both of them are basically allowing 4K at 120 FPS and are also touting 8K viewing for movies, I'm assuming. So that is also why they included both of these included an HDMI 2.1. In some cases, the PlayStation 5 beats the Xbox, and in other cases, the Xbox beats the PlayStation. It's just, we're going to have to wait and see until more games come out that are built from the ground up for this next generation. So, on that note, I'm going to have to give it to Xbox for allowing that storage expansion when PlayStation isn't. Like, I'm already almost, like, 400 gigabytes down, and I only have, like, 200 gigabytes on this thing left. I could really just go through this with 1 or 2 games at this point. Moving on to the final category in which I judged both these consoles after using them for 1 week and 1 week alone is the games availability. Now, if you know anything about games availability on the Xbox, especially exclusive launch titles, you know that there's absolutely not a single exclusive launch title for Xbox Series X. Not a single one. PlayStation does have its own exclusive launch titles. Now, I know you can play this on the PlayStation 4, but, you know, comparing it to the Xbox, which doesn't have a single exclusive launch title, I'm honestly really upset with that. They obviously delayed Halo Infinite till next year, which is kind of unfortunate, but honestly, it was a lackluster launch, especially without any exclusive launch titles. I really enjoyed this game, though. This is what really sold me on the idea that Sony has an edge this holiday season with the PlayStation. So Miles Morales is a really good testament to what this next generation can do. Has really fast load times, has the ray tracing in the works. You get 2 options actually. You get the fidelity option and the performance option in case you want to change in between. So this is a really good game if you guys ever want to pick this up for your PlayStation 5, or maybe you're considering playing it, or maybe when you get your PlayStation 5. This is a really good game, and it's a testament, like I said, to the next generation and what it can do. The ray tracing in this game, it's just amazing. I have also tried other games like Ghost of Tsushima, which did get a graphics update for the PlayStation 5. And let me tell you, this thing runs buttery smooth at 60 FPS, and I couldn't be more impressed. It's absolutely amazing to see Ghost of Tsushima run. Now going on to the Xbox, I do know that Xbox has the Game Pass available for Xbox gamers. Game Pass is always such a phenomenal option. I personally have Game Pass, and I just love going in there and having the ability to play all these games. So I'm not going to bash Xbox entirely for not having those exclusive launch titles. Xbox has done a really good job with that Game Pass, and I'm simply judging it on this holiday season and on this launch title season. So for this week of what I've been able to gather, the thing with the PS5, so you have multiple launch titles. Like I said, I only picked up Miles Morales, but you have multiple launch titles. And this is the thing that Xbox doesn't have, and it's one of the most powerful consoles. But what are you going to do with the most powerful console if you don't have games? That's the one thing that really upset me about this. I mean, I have the power, I have the juice, but I don't have the games, so I can't play it. Meanwhile, the PlayStation has multiple launch title exclusives: Demon Souls, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Godfall, Sackboy. I mean, the list could go on. There's like 2 other game exclusive titles there. In terms of the games, man, after playing them for a week and seeing what each has, I'm going to give it to PlayStation 5 in terms of games availability. Like I said, they have multiple exclusive launch titles. They have that game collection. And it's just not upsetting, man. PlayStation. That's all I really have to say on both of these consoles. I played them both for around a week. I played multiple different games, and honestly, I just feel like I'd have to give it to the PlayStation 5 at this point. Like I said earlier, take it with a grain of salt. Do your research. Look up different things. Look up different articles, videos. I mean, it's really up to you guys. The consumer always decides what the consumer wants. It is your money. Spend it on what you want. And if you're lucky enough to get one of these, good luck to you, And hopefully you can get one, because I know it's really hard to get one at this point. Leave in the comments below what you guys would like to get. Would you guys like to get a PlayStation 5, an Xbox Series X, or are you just sticking with the PC Master Race? If you did enjoy, please hit that like button and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye. Have a good one.